Have you ever stopped to wonder what actually happens when an artificial intelligence becomes just a bit too powerful for an everyday public release? We're living in this wild moment right now where the absolute most fascinating conversations in the AI industry, they aren't actually about the models you and I can log in and use. No, they're about the models being kept entirely behind closed doors. Recently, a massive update dropped in the Claude 5 ecosystem, and most people think they just got the ultimate upgrade, but honestly, they really just got a glimpse. So today, we are revealing the secret, top-tier AI model that is operating on a completely different level. Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to our explainer on Claude 5. Today, we are going to systematically break down what might literally be the biggest architectural leap in artificial intelligence to date. We're bypassing the marketing hype and looking directly at the official data, the raw engineering benchmarks, and the real-world performance metrics to show you the groundbreaking reality. Here is a quick look at our roadmap for today. 1. The hidden AI tier. 2. Unpacking the complex benchmarks. 3. Real-world engineering feats. 4. Power, tokens, and costs. And finally, number 5, why Mythos remains restricted. Don't worry, we're going to systematically demystify all these intense technical specs together. Right, so let's set up the foundational divide in the Claude 5 ecosystem. Section 1, the hidden AI tier. Fable 5 versus Mythos 5. So there is a stark contrast between what the public gets and what actually exists in the wild. Fable 5 is the incredibly powerful model that's publicly available until June 22nd. But the real story, the one no one is talking about, is Mythos 5. This is a restricted, top-tier system. And we aren't just talking about a slight incremental upgrade here. The data shows Mythos sitting comfortably above existing top-tier industry systems. I mean, we're talking about outperforming heavyweights like GPT 5.5, Gemini 3.1 Pro, and obviously Claude's own previous 4.8 model. Fable is fantastic for sure, but Mythos is the true next-generation leap. So, how do we actually know Mythos 5 is that much better? Let's dive right into the raw engineering data that proves this architectural superiority. Section 2, unpacking the complex benchmarks. The leap in logic here is just staggering, and the cyber defense data brilliantly illustrates the model's advanced capability to find security faults. The older Mythos model was already super formidable, sitting at a 69% success rate in identifying and resolving complex security threats. But the new Mythos 5, it jumps all the way to 78%. Now, in the world of high-level cybersecurity, a near 10% leap is absolutely astronomical. It represents a massive upgrade in logical reasoning to hunt down minute security faults that human engineers might completely miss. And this architectural leap is really driven home by the SWE bench, which tests agentic coding. Basically, that's the AI's ability to act as an autonomous software engineer and resolve real GitHub issues. The new Mythos 5 scores an 80.3%, up from the previous 77.8%. Now compare that to standard frontier code models sitting way down at 29.3%. To put that 80.3% into perspective, it's basically like having the combined, error-finding brainpower of 10 veteran software developers, each with a decade of intense coding experience, all working together to find a single flaw. That is the level of structural intelligence we're dealing with here. Abstract data is great and all, but let's move from abstract data to a jaw-dropping real-world application to show what these benchmarks actually mean. Section 3, real-world engineering feats. I just want you to take a second and really think about this massive number, 50 million. That isn't a funding metric, it isn't a user count. That represents the exact lines of Ruby code inside the payment processing giant Stripe's massive code base. 50 million lines of highly complex, deeply interconnected logic. When you're dealing with a 50 million line code base, a system-wide migration would typically take teams of senior human engineers months of painstaking, error-prone work. Actually, scratch that. It would probably be a nightmare. But using the Claude 5 architecture, specifically the publicly available Fable 5, Stripe managed to compress those months of complex engineering into a single day. Think about that for a second. A task requiring deep contextual understanding of millions of lines of code executed seamlessly in 24 hours. Let's move to and see how this builds across other disciplines, because it isn't just about coding. The model's analytical breadth is staggering. It can instantly perform financial matrix analysis. It can evaluate the viability of long-term growth strategies. It automatically generates complete JSON testing pipelines. And, pushing right into high-level physics, it actually has the complex reasoning capabilities to predict a solar eclipse. The versatility here proves we're looking at a wildly robust, multidisciplinary engine. But of course, this level of intelligence doesn't just run on thin air. Let's shift the narrative to the resource demands required to run such a massive architecture. Section 4. Power, tokens, and costs. So, extreme capability naturally comes with extreme resource consumption. Fable 5 draws down token usage twice as fast as the previous generation Opus model. When you push it to its maximum settings for highly complex tasks, users are seeing token burns that max out around $20 very, very quickly. It's a heavy model, and that high token burn is the literal cost of compressing months of human labor into seconds of processing time. Which brings us to the climax of our explainer, the safety and security risks of such unprecedented intelligence. Section 5. Why Mythos remains restricted. The answer to why Mythos is locked away lies in Project Glasswing. This is a deployment initiative in direct collaboration with the US government, specifically restricted to cyber defense and security critical software. And here is exactly why this matters. Because Mythos 5 can find incredibly minute, microscopic vulnerabilities in massive codebases, it poses a profound security risk. If a bad actor got their hands on an AI that could instantly find the one tiny flaw in a bank's 50 million line codebase, the results would be catastrophic. It is simply too capable, which is exactly why it's strictly kept in safe, highly regulated hands. Now, after talking about microscopic vulnerabilities and massive government codebases, I want to share a quick kind of funny palate cleanser. As the famous KFC ad goes, don't try so hard, loosen up with the new messy burger. It's just a great, sudden reminder that while an AI like Mythos doesn't ever need a break from analyzing 50 million lines of code, we humans occasionally just need to log off, step away from the screen, and get messy. But it does leave us with one final unavoidable thought. Fable 5 is a revolution, but Mythos 5 is a revolution, one we aren't even allowed to touch. So I leave you with this. If an AI this powerful is already fully built, tested, and restricted right now today, what else is currently being built behind closed doors that we won't even find out about for another 3 years?